Now, when Stephen A. Smith said this to Molly Qerim the other day on First Take, why was everybody so shocked and surprised? I already put the receipts out there. So if you're not sure of what Stephen A. Smith said to Molly Qerim the other day, I'm going to roll a clip for you to see. Welcome to Smash the Like TV.
By the way, he ain't the only one that looked like he lost some weight. You look like you lost some too, Molly.
I don't even know what's happening.
I mean, it's a compliment. I mean, not that you didn't need to lose anything, but you do look like you've lost a little bit of weight.
Now, a lot of people that saw this clip was shocked. There may be many of you that haven't seen this clip, so there you go. The people that actually watched it, I'm not sure why y'all are shocked by Stephen A. Smith saying these type of comments to Molly. Now, she looked to be a little bit pissed off about it, probably because he was speaking about the weight aspect of it. But this isn't nothing new. Stephen A. Smith been flirting with Molly Qerim. And if you're not sure about the receipts I dropped, just keep watching the rest of the video because I presented them right here for all to see. You're tuned in to Smash the Like TV. Now, since a lot of rumors came out about Molly and Stephen A., Molly did end up speaking on the matter and basically, debunked the rumors, which I expected to do, you know what I'm saying? And frankly, I want to believe her, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's saying out their mouth one thing, as far as it not being true, I'm going to take a word for it. You know what I mean? I don't have no reason not to. We all know that they were rumors. We all know that we just had our own speculations about the rumors. You know what I'm saying? So, she did come out and debunk them. I have a report from BSO that kind of explains a little bit further about the situation, the way she debunked the rumors, and just the perspective that the BSO reporter took when analyzing the situation. So I'm going to get into that right now. Before I do, y'all, hit that subscribe. All right, let's roll. Now, the reporter from this particular article wanted to really highlight that BSO didn't really want to address any of the rumors out of respect for Jalen and Molly, who they think are good people. And I believe are good people as well. But they went on to say, but Molly herself had addressed the rumors. So BSO want to make sure that her debunking of rumors is out there. So it went on to say further in the article that as far as Stephen A. Smith is concerned, it appears that the rumors between Stephen A. Smith and Molly seem to be something social media has made up. It goes on to say their relationship is professional as far as we know, speaking of BSO, and Smith and Rose. All right, Stephen A. Smith and Jalen Rose are friends. So while some of Smith's actions on the show seem a bit flirtatious, there is nothing to it, just something for social media to make jokes about. Now, I'm going to stop right here for a second. Now, you're probably wondering, why did I pause? Because it says right here, some of Smith's actions on the show seem a bit flirtatious. We know that anybody that watches the show, even with a little degree of consistency, and can clearly see Stephen A. flirting with Molly often. Like I put in one of my videos, I said he's highly flirtatious with her. Those are the words that I use, that he's highly flirtatious with her. So I'm not shocked that this particular author noted that in this article, because everybody knows that, all right? Now, the author does state that there is nothing to it, and I do want to believe that. I do want to believe that there's nothing to it. It just always was a little bit weird to me that he would be flirting with her as often as he did. And I couldn't have been wrong about that, because it's right here in the article admitting. It says, so while some of Smith's actions on the show seem a bit flirtatious, and remember in one of my videos, it was I think I hit on the point that You know, Stephen A and Molly is always talking about people and their behavior, but what about their behavior, you know? So that was one of the points that I was making. Nevertheless, it also says that it's nothing to it, just something for social media to make jokes about. Well, if that's the case, if this is true, that it's just something, it's nothing to it, but just something for social media to make jokes about, then why are a lot of people butthurt that people are making jokes about certain situations? It clearly says right here that there's nothing to their flirtatious ways. It's just something for social media to make jokes about. Then nobody should be butthurt about people making jokes about the rumors or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now they're clearly stating that they're just rumors and nothing's happening. And so I'm a man that's going to take people's word for it until otherwise. You know what I mean? I don't have any reason not to, until I guess if they give us a reason differently, then, you know, hey. Now, if you're literally reading the excerpt that I have in the screen right here, you can see that it says, never say never, but I doubt Stephen A would do that to Jalen and then have to sit next to him on the NBA show set multiple times a week. Now, I thought it was quite interesting that the author of this particular article prefaced it by saying never say never. Before he stated that he doubts Stephen A would do that to Jalen, he prefaced it by saying never say never. Now, why did he do that? Because we know that people will screw your mate and sit right in your face and chill with you as if nothing ever happened. We know people are capable. We know human beings are capable of that, right? Also, when you consider evidence such as this, these are the acts. This is evidence like this, which is why people cut their eye at Stephen A. Maybe not so much at Molly, more so at Stephen A for being snakish. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know he's been snakish. So, but we're not talking about like right here with the Molly situation. I'm just basically saying we know Stephen A can be snakish, right? But when you step up on camera and do stuff like this, it just doesn't help the situation. But remember, like they said, it says right here, it's just something for social media to make jokes about. It say right here, so while some of Smith's actions on the show seem a bit flirtatious, there is nothing to it, just something for social media to make jokes about. Okay, so were you joking when you did this? Let's roll it.
And last but not least, number one on the list, the number one thing I'm thankful for is this wonderful woman right here. Put it up there. First Take is a special show. They say Stephen A is First Take. Correction. It's Stephen A with the matriarch of the show. This person I couldn't do this show without and don't ever want to do the show without. The one and only Molly Qerim. Love you, girl.
Thank
it's
you.
number one on the list.
Thank
the things
you.
I'm thankful for.
Thank
just
you,
want
thank you,
everybody
thank
to know
you,
that.
thank you. And let me just say this.
So while some of Smith's actions on the show seem a bit flirtatious, there's nothing to it, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing to it. It's just something for social media to make jokes about. That's all. And so when people do make jokes about it, I don't want nobody being butthurt. All right? So y'all take it easy. Yeah, I mean, we gonna keep dropping whatever we like to drop, because it's all jokes, like they said, right? You know what I mean? So, but in all honesty, like, aside from the joking, like, I really hope that situation really ain't panning out. Like, I hope Stephen A ain't a snake like that. Like, I don't like people like that. You know what I'm saying? So I hope she didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jalen got it, like the article says, man. It says right here, man. It clearly says, man, never say never, but I doubt Stephen A would do that to Jalen and then have to sit next to him. You know what I mean? Just think about that for a minute. Jalen has to see Molly. Molly has to see Jalen. It says right here, Jalen and Stephen A. They always been around each other, working with each other, man. I mean, they call each other brothers, for crying out loud. So I'm hoping it's not the case. But as far as the people that's butthurt about the jokes that's being put out here and stuff like that, you know, just people having fun with it. Listen, they're all right. It says right here, they're all right. They do it for social media to make jokes about anyway. So listen, everybody. I've been hearing that Molly was trying to work on the marriage, you know, even in the midst of them splitting and Jalen filing for the divorce. I'm hearing through other YouTubers and other media outlets, and even some people have left comments, all right, on some of my videos saying, you know, Molly was trying to work on the marriage. If that's the case, then why would she continue her flirtatious behavior with Stephen A? And why would she allow Stephen A to flirt with her in a manner that could possibly be uncomfortable to somebody like her husband? If you're not understanding what I'm saying, let me elaborate further. All right? Hit that subscribe and let's roll.
And last but not least, number one on the list, the number one thing I'm thankful for is this wonderful woman right here. Put it up there. First Take is a special show. They say Stephen A is First Take. Correction. It's Stephen A with the matriarch of the show. This person I couldn't do this show without and don't ever want to do the show without. The one and only Molly Qerim. Love you, girl. It's number one on the list.
Thank
Things
you.
I'm thankful for.
Thank
Just
you,
want
thank you,
everybody
thank
to know
you,
that.
thank you. And let me just say this.
now, when this segment took place, obviously it was around Thanksgiving, which was well before the news broke and all the reports broke out that Jalen divorced Molly. The first reports that I was getting was on December 8th. This was the actual article that I used in my first video when I found out that Jalen divorced Molly. And being as though I do a sports channel, it was only right that I spoke on the matter, because it was a lot of times that I watched this show. I have nothing but respect for Jalen, Molly, and the work that they do on ESPN. So when I follow sports, it was only right that I went on and spoke on the matter with my channel. But this was the original article that I used, all right? So I think it's imperative that we remember, all right, that it was in January that they had first split up, all right? And this came from a source. It said a source insisted there was no drama surrounding the split, which happened back in January. It is also important to note that, remember, Jalen Rose divorced Molly, or filed for the divorce, in April, all right, after the couple starred in a Gatorade commercial together, all right? So I just want to recap real quick. Now, it's important to note that they split up in January. Jalen filed for a divorce in April. And during the midst of that time, I'm hearing reports about Molly was trying to work on the relationship. Now, if this is true, if Molly was trying to work on a relationship, maybe this probably could have stopped Jalen from even thinking about it or trying. Let's run it again.
And last but not least, number one on the list, the number one thing I'm thankful for is this wonderful woman right here. Put it up there. First Take is a special show. They say Stephen A is First Take. Correction. It's Stephen A with the matriarch of the show. This person I couldn't do this show without and don't ever want to do the show without. The one and only Molly Qerim. Love you, girl. It's number one on the list.
Thank
Things
you.
I'm thankful for.
Thank
Just
you,
want
thank you,
everybody
thank
to
you,
know
thank you. And let me just say this.
Now remember, all right, according to the divorce documents, Rose said the marriage ended after Qerim moved to Connecticut. So when Molly moved to Connecticut, the marriage ended. All right. Now, somewhere along these lines, Molly wanted to work on the marriage. All right. Now, I don't know how true this is. I do want to believe it, but I don't know how true it is. I've heard it on other YouTube channels, and I've heard other people say it across different media outlets. But I don't know how true it is that Molly was trying to keep the marriage together and trying to work on it. But I will say this. If Molly was trying to work on it, when this video happened, when this segment took place, I'm thinking Jalen Rose said enough was enough. Let's run it back.
And last but not least, number one on the list, the number one thing I'm thankful for is this wonderful woman right here. Put it up there. First Take is a special show. They say Stephen A is First Take. Correction. It's Stephen A with the matriarch of the show. This person I couldn't do this show without and don't ever want to do the show without. The one and only, Molly Qerim. Love you, girl. It's number one on the list.
Thank
Things
you.
I'm thankful for.
Thank
Just
you,
want
thank you,
everybody
thank
to know.
you, thank you. And let me just say this.
So ironically, as soon as he put this man's wife on blast like this, because let's remember, everybody like saying, I hear a lot of YouTubers and other personalities and media outlets talking about that's still his wife. You know, the divorce is still in process. You know, it's still technically legally his wife. All right. Well, Stephen A put his wife on blast. All right. For all of y'all that want to keep saying it's still his wife. All right. Tell Jalen Rose that's still his wife. Right. So when Stephen A got up there and talked about that man's wife, okay. Yes, it was in November. Yes, Jalen Rose filed for divorce in April. But like y'all keep running around saying, technically it's still his wife. Why did he get up there and put that man's wife on blast like that? So ironically, as soon as that segment take place in November, then all these articles and reports start dropping from December 8th and on. I have articles here from December 8th that dropped, December 9th, and moving forward, the wall just caved in. Everybody was reporting on it and speaking on the matter. Let's start with Exhibit A. Here's an article that dropped on December 8th from the New York Post, titled Jalen Rose, Molly Qerim divorcing after 3 years of marriage. I used this article in my initial video. Here's another article dropped on December 8th. Jalen Rose files for divorce from ESPN's Molly Qerim from Complex. And the wall started caving in. Here's an article from USA Today on December 9th. Right? Another one dropped December 9th. ESPN's Jalen Rose and Molly Qerim are now split after 3 years of marriage, remaining friends. The wall started caving in. You know what I'm saying? And this all happened after Stephen A Smith did this.
And last but not least, number one on the list, the number one thing I'm thankful for is this wonderful woman right here. Put it up there. First Take is a special show. They say Stephen A is First Take. Correction. It's Stephen A with the matriarch of the show. This person I couldn't do this show without and don't ever want to do the show without. The one and only, Molly Qerim. Love you, girl. It's number one on the list.
Thank
Things
you.
I'm thankful for.
Thank
Just
you,
want
thank you,
everybody
thank
to
you,
know.
thank you.
Now remember, they flirt for jokes, right? This was clearly stated, all right? In one of my videos, I used the article to highlight the fact that Stephen A flirts with Molly. And he's been doing this for a long time. It says here, so while some of Smith's actions on the show seem a bit flirtatious, there is nothing to it, just something for social media to make jokes about. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, would y'all actually joke around with somebody's wife or husband in these kind of ways? I personally would feel uncomfortable doing that because I wouldn't want nobody like playing around with my mate in that way. And then in front of the masses, All right. So listen, it's not my words. These are the words they're using to clean up their mess. They're the ones that's putting it out to be reported on that it's nothing to their behavior. Remember, I made a video about their behavior because they're always on that show talking about other people's behavior. But they're using words like there's nothing to it to clean up their mess, and it's just something for social media to make jokes about. All right. Now that's how y'all rolling. That's how y'all sliding with this nonsense. Well, Jalen ain't rolling with it, Miles. You know what I mean? Jalen ain't rolling with it. He's out of here like Vladimir. And so am I. Drop y'all comments on the way out, y'all. I'm out. Peace. I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. On your way out, would you please take the opportunity to hit the subscribe button? This is Smash the Light TV with your host, Be Easy. I'm out. Peace.